This is the Business Experience Show, where we connect those who want to know more about digital marketing, social media, and business strategy with entrepreneurs who are succeeding in today's marketplace. Follow our blog, join our online network, or connect with us at thebusinessexperienceshow.com. And now, your host, Lisa Caprelli.
Welcome back to the Business Experience Show. We're also here with show producer Brian Gapps. Road Less Travel is our next guest. Road Less Travel is a retail store located in the Santa Ana Arts District. It is not just a cool and fun resource for unique gifts and project ideas. The Road Less Travel store is also a retailer that supports craft-based entrepreneurs. Owner Delilah Snell is here with us today to talk about branching her passion into multiple business ventures. Welcome, Delilah.
Welcome. Thank you so much, Brian and Lisa. I'm happy to be here.
Hi, Delilah. You have a few things going on that are all interconnected, but let's start with your store, Road Less Traveled. We discovered your boutique while browsing during Santa Ana's recent monthly art walk. Tell us about the focus of the store.
Well, my store started about 8 years ago, and it was basically a response to the growing environmental concern. And so when I opened up, I really wanted green, eco, non-toxic items. And, you know, as we all know, green has become really in and big. So as a result, I started incorporating handmade goods and fair trade items and just really unique, one-of-a-kind products that really just told a story. It wasn't just your typical store. And about 4 years ago, we started incorporating workshops and, you know, DIY classes, because I've also noticed that consumers not only want to buy products, but they want to learn to make them themselves. So it's a little bit of everything, I guess, just unique and fun.
So you started out green, but when that went mainstream, you shifted a bit to, you really exemplified the business adage, adapt or die, I think.
Exactly, yeah.
And the shift in the economy really provided a whole new set of people taking an interest in making homemade products rather than buying them, I imagine.
Oh, yes. Definitely the recession affected my business by, people wanting to learn how to make things. It was a form of entertainment. It was a way for them to kind of rebel against big business by taking product manufacturing into their own hands. But it was also kind of this way for people to kind of get in touch with how we used to do things before things became mass produced. So
Right.
it was just really meaningful, I think, than just going out and buying a bar of soap. Instead, they can make some with their girlfriends on a Saturday night, and it was a fun experience for them.
You also offer the opportunity, as we said, to give others, teach them a skill with workshops at your store. What do you look for in that?
What we try and look for at the shop are things that you don't typically see at other educational, you know, my quote, hands are up right now, educational institutions.
And I have to say that caught my eye when we walked into your store, is you have like a chalkboard and it has workshops. So you're like, well, which one would I want to do?
And the chalkboard, by the way, is, 5 feet by 10 feet across. It's massive. You can't miss it when you go in there. But I just try and look for things that personally I would be interested in, things that I haven't seen before, things that I've heard people talking about. I really listen to my customers. For years I've had customers asking about metalworking. And I was interested in that too. I'm like, oh, welding, that might be cool to learn. And then I met an artist in the Santora who was a welder. She was a metal artist.
Wow.
And she has a studio near the train station. So we have a welding workshop twice a year. And I got to tell you, it is packed. There's 5 people. That's all that there's allowed. But we have a waiting list sometimes for this welding class. But
I'm so glad. I love people who are leaders and teach. I know some of the workshops you offer are food canning, foraging for food in the wild, do-it-yourself bar basics. You can learn the anatomy of a
popular
cocktail
one.
and how to make bitters, grenadine, and liquors. Do more men go to that than women?
Yeah, we get equal amounts. I mean,
Hey.
Let me just say, the class starts with a cocktail and it ends with everybody best friends for life.
And then you said a 5-hour welding class and make your own wooden spoon. That's very
Yeah, you can learn how to do
interesting.
basic carving.
That's
yeah.
amazing. I would like to take that one.
What type of workshop-related products do you sell at the store?
Okay, so I'm also a master food preserver. I actually teach all the canning classes at the store, and basically it's kind of a person who teaches the public on how to safely preserve all types of foods. So the canning classes, of course, are really popular, and I've been doing them for a long time. And as a result, I've started carrying fermenting kits so people can learn how to make their own kimchi and their own, Clausen dill pickles. And I carry canning pH paper and, specialty tools to help people that really enjoyed the class to kind of go further with it on their own.
Right.
We also carry natural dye kits. We have a natural dye class at the shop, but then we have more varied and hard to find dyes in a kit that we sell at the store. We have, embroidery kits. It's all over. Cheese making kits.
So we're talking to Delilah Snell, and her store is roadlesstraveledstore.com.
You can find me online.
Yeah, roadlesstraveledstore.com.
People must approach you about starting their own store all the time. What business advice would you give somebody about opening a store?
When you walk into Road Less Traveled, it looks really cute. You see that big chalkboard, and there's great music, and people come in all the time saying, I want to have a retail store too. And the first thing I tell them is, you need to just wait right there and intern at Road Less Traveled Store so you get a reality check of what having a retail store is like. And the number one thing I can say is, if you want to start a business, no matter what it is, you need to intern or work there first and see what it is like firsthand.
And all the hats that we wear as entrepreneurs, because you're right, it seems glamorous, and many people dream of one day I'm going to have my own store, whatever it is, our own business, whether it's a service or product. And what I find with entrepreneurs that I've worked with through the years is there's no free ride. You have to do the hard work.
Oh my gosh, I'm the plumber, I'm the janitor, I'm everybody.
Have you had a workshop about opening a store yet?
Okay, well, no, we haven't.
That's next.
But, I don't even know where to go with this because there's so many other avenues.
That's okay. We'll go on. Prior to your current business ventures, you were involved heavily in community development, and particularly within Santa Ana.
Yeah. I've really just been interested in the downtown area and seeing it grow, and I just saw when you go to downtown Santa Ana, there's so many beautiful buildings. It's so historical. You feel this potential just kind of oozing out when you walk around it. And I fell in love with that area, and I really wanted to do something that helped to kind of push it and bring people there, bring more people into downtown so they could see how beautiful it was and see what I was feeling about it. And one of the ways that we've done that is we've created a large outdoor marketplace that happens twice a year called Patchwork Show. And it's my niece and I, who's my business partner, and we're the same age, and that's a whole other show.
Okay.
But it's a large outdoor marketplace with 150 local handmade artists in the street. And we have things like, screen printing. You can go and learn how to screen print in the street. There's, food stations. There's, areas where you can learn how to paint and knit. And it's just a big, beautiful outdoor festival. And it's filled with color and life, and it's free. And
those take place currently in Oakland and Long Beach and Phoenix, and, of course, the Art District of Santa Ana. And I know you've had some shows in Culver City as well.
Yeah. It's been really catching on.
So when someone is creative and they come to you, you can almost direct them into many spaces that you're currently involved in.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
Exciting.
I can either sell them in my store, or I can tell them to go get a booth at Patchwork Show, and they can create their own little retail store for the day.
And I don't know if you're like me, but I'm an artist, so I tend to draw the creative people in my life. Mm-hmm. So it almost seems like for
a magnet,
me, right, that almost everyone I think is creative. I don't know if that's true or not.
You know what? But everybody is in some way. Whether I don't know how to paint, but I know how to create a business. Right. I know how to create something for other creatives. So
and I find that the older that one gets, the more they want to tap into that creative space. So I could see people attending your workshops and wanting to tap into their own creative space.
For sure.
And there are art and craft shows in many places. So what makes a Patchwork Show different?
It's something for everyone. It's a large craft show, but it's not overwhelming. And the array of products is just so diverse. You're going to see somebody, having habanero jelly, and they're going to be right next to somebody that makes, that has a doggy portrait booth. And then right next to that, you're going to see, bacon plush toys and a bacon and egg mobile for a newborn. I mean, just wacky, zany, creative, And isn't there also a bit of an entrepreneurial education component to Patchwork Show? Yeah. Throughout the festival, we have different areas where people can sit down and learn how to make things, or can watch somebody make something and kind of participate. Again, maybe they may not be the most creative person, but it's something that they feel like they're a part of too, or it's a skill sharing moment. And these are hosted by different businesses in the area, like the Makery in Anaheim, Art Supply Warehouse. They do these stations where people learn how to make items.
And a month before the actual show, you provide something for the entrepreneurs.
Yeah, I think one way that we're really different from other craft or art venues is we really are there for our vendors, and we want them to succeed. And that is the utmost importance to us because we're small businesses ourselves. And a month before the show, we have a vendor mixer where people can network and kind of celebrate that the shows are coming up and meet a new friend and have a new buddy, at the show. And we also do lectures there where we talk about DIY PR, how to get a press release together to push yourself at the show, how to set up your booth, what papers do you need to file to make sure that you're, paying the right taxes, things of that nature, which creatives are not very good at.
And that comes with the show registration. So that itself is worth the fee, and the booth is for free.
We do. Yeah, exactly. We're there to support you. And throughout the show, too, we have about 30 to 40 volunteers at each show that just go around and make sure, are you okay as a vendor? Do you need to go to the restroom? You need something to eat? We're all there to help each other. And because when everybody's happy, the customer's going to be happy.
Right. I like that you do that, Delilah, and I'm sure the people and the vendors appreciate it. Share some success stories that you've heard from people who have had a booth and gone on to do the next bigger, best thing.
Okay, there's one vendor in particular. Her name is Sweet Perversion. She kind of does naughty cards, and they're very funny, but none of which I can say on here.
Okay.
But she started, her first show was with us, with Patchwork. Since then, she's been doing stuff with the Hard Rock Cafe and Las Vegas. She's in stores all over the place. She's had 7,000 sales on Etsy. That is impressive. She was just at our craft conference recently, and she was talking about, leading workshops on setting up your booth and, packaging. And she's now become like a voice of a mentor. And it's been really nice to see her grow and succeed. And
that's great.
And you've mentioned her, but an interesting and perhaps controversial marketing choice is that you do not list your show vendors online.
No.
But there are several good reasons for that, aren't there?
No, and that's actually something that we recently talked about with a group of people. We get a lot of people coming in just kind of, I'm just going to grab all these business cards and I'm going to recreate Patchwork down the street or recreate Patchwork, in the city next door. And, we're protecting the hard work that goes into it. We spend years researching our vendors, years building these relationships, and it's very easy for somebody to just take a copy of our website and recreate something, but maybe not have that desire or earnestness to really help the vendor. And so we're protecting our vendors from possible situations like that. Another thing is we want people to not just go online and shop from the vendors. You have to go to Patchwork to meet all these people. You're not just going to see a list and do your shopping there.
It's a community.
The whole point is go to the event. Go to the event and meet somebody. Meet these makers face to face.
And Delilah, if you aren't busy enough, 2 years ago you started an annual conference called Craftcation, which just took place. What is Craftcation?
Craftcation is it's a two-part. It's a DIY conference where people learn how to make things. And then it's a conference for creative entrepreneurs. So if you want to start your business or want to start a food business or want to have a booth at Patchwork or I don't know, I just want to do something creative and make it into something that can make money, this is your venue. And, going back to what we were talking about with the vendor mixer and the questions would people ask, these would turn into 2-3 hour discussions of what's sales tax? What's a press release? Just these like very basic questions. And it dawned upon us, we actually need to have a summit for this.
Right. Well, it's a way to help people get to the next level.
Yeah. And letting them know that there's a community there that supports them.
So Craftcation, some of what Craftcation is.
60% business. So for example, in the business portion, we'll have how to set up an Etsy shop.
Right.
Legal, financial basics for your business.
Some of the expanded topics you touch on in your mixers for the Patchwork Show, right?
Yeah, more specific, exactly. Yeah. And like starting your own blog, SEO. There's anything that involves in DIY, the beginning things of your business.
Okay, so that's business venture number 1. You have Patchwork Shows number 2. Sum up that one.
Patchwork Show is learn more about the shows. It's patchworkshow.com. We have a show in Oakland on May 12th. Santa Ana, which is our biggest show, is May 26th, and Long Beach is June 2nd.
Road Less Travel Store.
Road Less Traveled Store is at 125 North Broadway in downtown Santa Ana. We're right next to the Gypsy Den, and we're open Tuesday through Sunday.
An interesting offshoot from the Patchwork shows is that you have been asked to produce other shows for other people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 2 years ago, I produced a 2-day food festival in Los Angeles. And yeah, it's been interesting. I've been now hired out to do large and small events. The food festival that I organized had about 25,000 people.
We've covered a lot of ground quickly here. Let's just tell our listeners how to find you for craft workshops, do-it-yourself projects, and handmade products and gifts, roadlesstraveledstore.com, right? For the craft and handmade shows in the Western U.S., visit patchworkshow.com. And for the annual Craft Business Education Seminar, craftcationconference.com.
Correct.
Thanks for being with us,
Thank
Delilah.
you
had so
much
good information.
Thank you.
You're listening to Angels Radio, AM 830 KLAA. You're a creative person, or you're not, and you want to attend some of these workshops, go to thebusinessexperienceshow.com. You'll click on Roadless Travel Store and find all the information we talked about. Thank you for being with us.
So much. Thank you. See you guys soon.
Yes, we'll be back. You're listening to Angels Radio, AM 830 KLAA. I'm Lisa Caprelli with Brian Gaps. We'll be right back.
Philosophy number 13, integrated advertising.
With an integrated strategy, media channels work together. Print, digital, broadcast, outdoor, all building upon each other with a cohesive message that reaches your audience in different ways at different times, resulting in a stronger impact and a more efficient use of budget with maximum ROI.
Integrated advertising from Orange Label Art and Advertising, generating thriving brand leaders. Orange Label Advertising